Hi, we're here with Katz, who is going to give us some health tips today on how to eat healthy. And it was interesting as I've been talking to you, learning about the fact that with your husband, Dr. David Katz, who's an expert in nutrition, how you found out that the meals you were preparing for him actually were healthy.
Oh, I was very surprised because, as I said, for me it was about wholesome food, good food, but I wasn't knowledgeable or aware necessarily of how much fiber, how much protein. And my husband had said, look, you know enough about what is good for you, and you just have it in your pantry, cook it, and it will all work out for itself. So I thought, good, and as long as he's happy, great. But I didn't really believe that I could possibly have it right on target the way that he wanted, you know, so much protein, so much fiber, so much fat, the right kind of fat, the calories. So one day when he was writing a book and he said, I'd like you to write the recipes, the meal plan, the recipes. I said,
he had a lot of faith in you.
Yes, I said, are you kidding me? I mean, come on. I mean, I cannot possibly meet all those standards. He said, well, what do you think you've been doing? I said, yes, but I'm a scientist. You know, how accurate am I going to be? He said, give it a try. Write up your recipe and let's submit it to 2 dietitians and let's see. One by one, I was shocked. The protein, the fiber, the fat, the kind of fat, the calories, it fell into place. And the first time I thought, okay, lucky, but this is not going to happen again. Second time, third time. And by the 4th, I thought, you know, you got a point. And he said, so will you write the book with me? And I said, all right. And that's how it started.
And the name of the book?
That was the Flavorful Diet.
The Flavorful Diet.
Yes.
So, of course, that's important because we don't want to be eating things that don't taste good. And I think a lot of people think if it's healthy, it's not going to taste good.
Exactly. And, you know, I was one of those who thought that. And I would not have it that way. I'm French, and food has to be luscious and beautiful and appetizing and inviting. And cardboard is not exactly good. So I didn't think healthy, you know, healthy to me was also that thought of, if it's healthy, it's not going to be good. Not so, obviously. We had to make it work, and it does work. And there's that added dimension of you're not only loving this food, but you're really having it love you back. I'm literally.
And helping your health, and helping
exactly.
you feel better.
And the whole family. That's the thing. It wasn't like somebody goes on a diet and leaves their kids behind. It's a whole family thing, and people that you love eating together is about the enjoyment of it, but all of us deriving the same health benefits. It's just wonderful.
Why do you think your recipes ended up being so on target?
Because again, it's if you and if I were to think about the tips that I would say about healthy, and even if you don't have recipes, if you have the right ingredients in your pantry, you will be fine. And those are whole grains, legumes, beans, lots of veggies, lots of fruit, lean protein. We don't eat red meat, but you can in moderation. Grass-fed beef is okay. We eat poultry and seafood and fish, dairy, milk. But the nice thing is there is a lot of room for movement. You don't have to have the same diet, but I would say whole grain, legumes, beans, and vegetables and fruit. If you have those in your diet, you'll be fine.
There's a lot of talk about the importance of olive oil versus butter. Is
Yes.
that something you find too?
Oh, absolutely. First, I don't use butter at all anymore. If there's one thing that I've changed completely, I mean, butter, I'm French. But, you know, and I thought, how am I going to live without butter? And I could, not only could, now I don't like butter. The kids don't like butter. You don't need the butter. I mean, let me take that back. There are a couple little things like a tarte tatin. I don't know if you know. It's a beautiful apple upside down tart that is just delightful.
Making me hungry.
But that one, you got to make it with butter, and that's all there is to it. So make it, enjoy it. That's it. But mostly, I was able to, with canola oil, olive oil. I use some Smart Balance, which is a spread that doesn't have any trans fat, no saturated fat. And it's important to have those healthy oils from nuts, from avocado, from olives. So I use a lot of that.
You know, you said something that I think is important. you can cheat once in a while.
Absolutely.
And I think it's important that people don't feel that they have to be deprived. When you live in pain, it's so hard to oftentimes feel like, again, now I have to deprive myself.
Yes, and first of all, you don't feel deprived. If you know how to do it, you don't even feel deprived, even with the good stuff. That's the whole point. It's not about eating healthy and appealing. It's wonderful. I mean, we'll show you a few things. I mean, it's just so luscious. It's nice, and then you don't feel that heaviness.
Right. You
but
feel good.
if there are things, like for example, cheese. I'm French, for goodness sakes. I don't like skim cheese. If I'm going to have cheese, I'm going to have cheese, and I'm going to use the flavorful kind of cheese, the full fat cheese. It's not good for you. It's saturated, but we have it in moderation. And so enjoy it. And if you can't replace it, then enjoy it, and that's it. That's fine. But the rest, you're not feeling deprived. So it's a good something that you can sustain. I mean, a diet you cannot sustain is not something that you want to go on.
Exactly. Well, will you take me into your kitchen and share a recipe of yours?
I will love to.
Well, I know her son has been waiting all day for us to make this marvelous breakfast shake, and so we'll be doing that, and we hope you'll enjoy it just as much as I think your son's going to.
I know he will. You will too.
Thanks for joining us.